cut and redirect funds from the homeless camp sweeps program.
A community in solidarity. A coastal town packs the city chamber to rally against possible plans to turn the airport there into a new ICE facility.
Open for business. With the stroke of the president's pen, the government shutdown has ended. Reaction from local lawmakers and what happens from here.
On this vote, the yeas are 222, the nays are 209. The bill is passed. The motion is adopted.
After 43 days, the longest shutdown in government history is officially over. Good evening and thank you for joining us on the 10 o'clock news. I'm Rielle Creighton.
And I'm Pete Ferryman. First at 10 today, the House voted to pass a continuing resolution funding bill that will reopen the government, and President Trump signed it shortly after. This means funds for air traffic controllers and programs like SNAP will be released.
Meanwhile, the deal is landing with a thud with many Democratic House members. They say party leaders did not secure their primary demand that sparked the shutdown in the first place, the extension of ACA subsidies. Today, Democrats introduced a discharge petition to try to force a vote in the coming weeks to extend subsidies for another 3 years. Some Republicans have suggested that they would be open to a one-year extension.
Democrat Marie Gluesenkamp Perez, who represents Southwest Washington, broke with the majority of her party and sided with Republicans to reopen the government. She put out a statement saying in part, quote, "Tonight I voted to end this partisan car crash of a showdown. Nobody likes paying even more money to insurance companies, and the fight to stop runaway health insurance premiums won't be won by holding hungry Americans hostage. Americans can't afford for their representatives to get so caught up in landing a partisan win that they abandon their obligation to come together and solve the urgent problems that our nation faces." Meanwhile, Oregon Congresswoman Andrea Salinas released a statement on why she voted against the spending bill, saying in part, quote, "From the beginning of this shutdown, I have been clear I will support a bill that stops Republicans' cuts, lowers costs, and saves health care. This bill does none of those things." The bill does fund the government through January 30th. Some in D.C. fear that they could be having the same fight in just a couple of months.
This is going to affect everyone, the survival of anyone who goes out on the ocean in the central coast of Oregon.
I was like, no way, they're not going to do that. They can't do that. It's not legal.
We rely on the Coast Guard, and they're our last hope.
Families of fishermen in Newport are sounding the alarm over possible plans from the federal government to turn the airport into a site for a new ICE facility. A Coast Guard rescue helicopter stationed there has moved to North Bend, and the families say the consequences could be deadly.
Well, tonight, city officials and community members spoke out against having a new ICE facility built in their town. Fox 12's Leslie Dominique attended the meeting. She's live there tonight with the latest. Leslie.
Yes, Pete, Rielle, the turnout here was huge. Even a half an hour before the meeting even began, the council chamber reached capacity. Now hundreds filled the hallways, even extending out here, and most spoke against the potential of an ICE facility in their town. But perhaps the most compelling sound was from a young girl who spoke about her father recently being detained by ICE.
He's the only person who understands what I...
The pleas of a daughter.
He's been there with me for everything.
Who says her father was detained by federal agents in September and transported to an ICE facility in Tacoma.
On behalf of everyone who's suffering and doesn't want to speak up, I'm asking you guys, please don't do this.
And the response from Newport Mayor Jan Kaplan.
This council will do everything that we can do in support and to fight this.
It's a fight that drew hundreds into the Newport City Council chamber Wednesday night, spilling into the hallways, outside, and even online, as residents rally against a potential ICE detention facility at the Newport Municipal Airport.
This is not the type of world I want to live in.
Local and state officials say the alleged plan came without any prior communication from the Trump administration or DHS.
And we can't get anybody to answer our questions. The city of Newport can't get it. The state of Oregon can't get it. Our U.S. senators can't get anybody to tell us exactly what the plan is. That's not how government ought to work.
In a press release Wednesday, Representative David Gomberg, who represents Lincoln and Western Benton and Lane counties, outlined what he calls a list of evidence pointing to plans for a detention center. That includes hiring ads by federal contractors for detention and transportation officers, a federal contractor inquiry about pumping up to 10,000 gallons of sewage per day for up to 3 years from tanks located at the airport. And top of the mind for many in this room, a U.S. Coast Guard rescue helicopter stationed at the airport since the 1980s was recently relocated to North Bend just as winter weather and Dungeness crab season approach.
And so we're talking about an hour to an hour and a half for a helicopter to respond to emergencies on the coast.
The Newport City Council, united in opposition to the potential detention center, is now weighing their legal options. Representative Gomberg says he will continue pressuring federal officials for answers, warning the impact could extend far beyond Newport.
Because if there is, in fact, a large-scale detention center here, it's going to affect the entire coast, and it's also going to reach into the Mid-Willamette Valley and as far as the Portland area. This is a big deal, if in fact that is the deal that is evolving, and we don't know.
Now, the city says federal contractor Team Housing Solutions Incorporated has submitted a letter of intent to lease 4 acres at the airport to, quote, support federal operations. But late this afternoon, they say they were notified that that company withdrew their proposal. We did reach out to DHS for comment. We are awaiting that. For now, reporting in Newport, Leslie Dominique, Fox 12 Oregon.
Leslie, thank you. Tonight, we are learning more about the arrest made by ICE yesterday in the Salem area. The advocacy group Oregon for All says at least 24 people were arrested on their way to work, some being farm workers. In one incident, they said that witnesses reported seeing an ICE vehicle ram a car on Ward Street near the 76 gas station. Others reported seeing ICE agents break a car window. Jess Montagna, the network director for Oregon for All, says that yesterday marked the single highest day of detainments in the city in years.
I think that we know that there's been an uprise in just the month alone. In November, prior to the detentions that happened yesterday in Salem, we were already at 112 people that had been taken away from their families. So it's just another devastating number added on top of that. Of people that are now left without their main source of income, of children that are left without parents.
Montagna says Oregon for All is raising funds to help families impacted by detentions. They have more information on resources available to use on their website.
In Portland, a sweeps first policy has led to multiple deaths. We elected a new city council because we wanted them to try different things. The old ways of underfunding basic social supports while ramping up enforcement do not work. Because of the impact reduction program and the responsiveness from Shelter Portland and the mayor's office, the neighborhood is much safer than it was 2 months ago.
After hours of public comment, the Portland City Council voted to reject a proposed amendment that would cut funding from a program that clears homeless camps from public spaces.
The amendment would have cut more than $4 million from multiple departments that help with homeless camp sweeps and redirected the money into other resources like food assistance and housing grants. And Fox 12's Michaela Armstrong joins us now live from City Hall with more on how the council came to its decision tonight. Michaela, it was a contentious night at the City Council.
Yeah, Pete Riel, it wasn't easy. After hours of public comment and tense debate on the amendment, the council ultimately decided not to pass it, showing a greater divide between some councilors and Mayor Keith Wilson on how to tackle homelessness.
The tension was thick as councilors decided to vote no to an amendment that would reduce more than $4 million from the impact reduction program.
The behavior of the mayor and certain members of the city bureaucracy over recent weeks reveals some deeply troubling realities about the way that this city is currently being run.
The impact reduction program clears homeless camps and removes trash from public spaces.
We don't think that this program is in line with our values. It may not be a majority opinion, but it's a meaningful set of people who are very concerned about the direction that we're heading with these sweeps.
As the night went on, tensions only continued to grow between Councilor Angelita Murillo, who introduced the amendment, and Mayor Keith Wilson.
So this came to my desk as a surprise, and I rallied my team and the administration over the weekend to come in to assess this. We worked
Your team could have called me. That's what you have staff for.
Councilor Mitch Green, who worked with Murillo to introduce the amendment, says its failure is disappointing.
I'm disappointed that we spent all day addressing what were a bunch of misrepresentations and mischaracterizations that led to a lot of folks coming in worried we were going to cut things that we weren't actually cutting.
Some councilors walked out of the meeting before voting took place, showing division growing on the council on the issue.
An absent vote is the same as a no vote, and I'm going to be a no vote all night long.
Councilor Loretta Smith was one council member who stayed and also decided to vote no.
There were parts of it that was good, but I could not stomach us losing the sweeps.
She says the vote was a message. The council has some work to do.
A message was sent to all of us that we need to sit down and have a conversation and see what we can put in ordinance in partnership with the mayor to make sure that we have an ordinance that we all can support and we don't have to spend 8 hours here.
And even though Green and Smith were on different sides of the aisle on the issue, both say they are committed to seeing a solution that works.
I'll be happy to work on that in the months to years that I'm still in office.
I am hopeful. I am really hopeful because we did get some things off of our chest. And now we need to sit down in a room and have our staffs work out something that's going to pass.
This was a mid-year budget proposal, so we could see a similar proposal brought up for a vote again. In downtown Portland, Michaela Armstrong, Fox 12 Oregon.
Okay, Michaela, thank you. A judge has declared a mistrial in the murder trial of a North Plains man accused of shooting and killing his brother at a popular wedding venue. After 3 days of deliberations, the jury in the trial against Robert Horning is deadlocked. Robert is accused of shooting and killing his brother Carl early last year amid a tug-of-war legal battle surrounding the family business, an event venue in North Plains called Horning's Hideout. Robert has claimed self-defense, saying that Carl was coming toward him with an empty wine bottle when he shot him. Closing arguments wrapped up last Friday, and just this morning, the jury told the judge that they could not reach a verdict. According to the Washington County District Attorney's Office, the case will be retried. There's no word yet on when that will begin and how long it could last.
Tonight, the Clackamas County District Attorney's Office is releasing new details on last week's officer-involved shooting. Deputies responded at around 9:45 p.m. on November 9th to a backyard fire in southeast 362nd Avenue. Officers say that 44-year-old Daniel Zimmerman, reported as agitated and intoxicated, charged at Deputy Lindsay Bailey. The DA says Bailey fired one shot, hitting Zimmerman, who was taken to Legacy Emanuel in stable condition. The fire was quickly put out, and the incident is now under grand jury review.
Turning now to our weather. Here is a live look outside from our Mary Hill Tasting Room and Bistro camera in Vancouver. And yeah, you know, warm today. I think that's the message. I took the dog for a walk, and I had like a light sweatshirt on, you know, just really thin thing, and I had to take it off. It was it was hot. I mean, relatively speaking. Relatively speaking.
Okay, there we go. That's the key.
We're only 4 degrees from the record high for the day.
It's okay,
so,
see?
There you go.
See, all right.
The record's only 66.
It's all relative. Yeah. It's all relative.
All right. And it's still 55, so this is our average high temperature this time of the year. So that tells you it's a pretty warm air mass if it's 10 p.m. and like that. And it's still that warm. We've had some sprinkles off and on the west side of the metro generally the last few hours. This weather system sitting offshore. That thing is really falling apart, so we expect lots of clouds through tomorrow. But just these light showers at times. There'll be large chunks of tomorrow that are going to be dry. We're going to be staying mild. We know that. That's right through the weekend, actually. Warm night tonight, 60 degrees again tomorrow afternoon. And then I think here's a change compared to 24 hours ago. We're looking mainly dry Friday and Saturday. Can't get rid of all the rain probably, but far more dry than wet. Most of the rain is heading into California. So here's the deal. Here's a satellite picture. Look how all the action is down here. There's San Francisco and California. There we are up here. And things are just splitting apart here. Part of this system is going into Canada, some to the south into California. When this happens, it's split flow. I call it kind of splitty. We just tend to get like the leftovers. We don't get big rain. So here's right now a lot of rain way offshore. This is the forecast, model forecast. We got the sprinkles along the coast and here in the valleys. As we head towards the morning commute, there's 6, 7 a.m. Yeah, there'll be some light showers around, but midday, there are only scattered showers about. At one point, we thought this thing would be over us and it'd be a really wet Thursday. That doesn't appear to be the case now. So tonight, very mild, only around 50 for lows with the cloud cover. And then tomorrow, there'll be showers around for the morning commute. Some of us dry, some of us wet, mild, calm. There's no wind tomorrow morning. And for the rest of tomorrow, I think we'll just see these showers off and on. It does look like the showers probably pick up a little bit as we head through the evening commute. Not a ton, but a warm day around 60 degrees. Okay, beyond that, I was thinking it was 2 days ago. I thought, oh, it's a wet weekend, indoors, pay the bills, take a nap, whatever. Now it's looking like you could get outside, do hiking or whatever you want to do. We'll explain which parts of the weekend. I'll show you which parts are looking wettest, though. That'll be my first alert forecast.
The 10 o'clock news is just getting started.
Highway 217's big improvements are complete. From new lanes to a rebuilt overpass, we break down how your daily drive is about to get a bit easier.
A new OSU study finds a heat dome left lasting scars on Northwest forests. Tonight, an expert breaks down what it means for the future of our trees.